Hola Madridistas, welcome back to club football. We Real Madrid still have a lot to play for this April, and it's going to be a long month. But baby steps. It's still Barcelona's La Liga to lose, but we must keep up the pressure. So we have it enough in the tank to actually have a late fight in La Liga coming May in the Clásico. So yeah, we gotta be ready. We gotta win and treat every single one of these La Liga games, plus the UCL games, plus the Copa del Rey games as a final. And yeah, anyways, to talk about all of that and more, and obviously the Leganes preview as well. Joining me today is Farooq, the bread and butter of the channel. Farooq, how you been? And Farooq was telling me that he had a complete break from football, not just from club football.
Yeah, I mean, I was, saying to Jacob, it's, I think, the first time, I think, in at least as long as I remember in my life, that I had gone 10 days without watching a game. Like, it's crazy. Like, even I haven't seen even the highlights. That's, even like to add to it, like, it's okay. I have seen like Arda Güler's goal because like I'm in a group with some guys and the whole Turkish team versus Szoboszlai immediately became something else, and like I saw it was like a short reel that of the goal and more or less, but other than that I don't think I've seen anything, honestly. Like it's crazy. Well, yeah, I feel it's a kind of a good detox, from everything. You just take a step back and you recalibrate. And yeah, I think the break has been good for me. Like, I don't know, how have you been? How did you catch any of the games? Which ones were your favorite?
Yeah, I did see the highlights of most of the nicer games, and did see reels and shots of certain moments, like the Arda Güler moment and Szoboszlai, his Instagram post. But yeah, for me, the game to watch out for was Italy and Germany. It was a really good game. A lot of back and forth, some really high quality football. You could say that for pretty much all the games. France, Croatia was really good. Croatia, unexpectedly, like you expect them to sit back and soak up the pressure, but they actually came out, and I think it gave France a bit of a run for their money. But in the end, France prevailed. And obviously, the international break actually started off with Vini's screamer against Colombia, and then people are all excited for the Argentina game, saying both Rafinha and Vini are at the top of their form. It should be something special, and it was a 4-0 dropping of Brazil again. So yeah, that happened. For me, the international break, like for some reason, like this international break was filled with really good games, good drama. That moment where Mbappe sorry, Modric tells Mbappe to get up and stop diving in the Croatia game. That was really good to see as well. So yeah, but yeah, we are back to club football, and even before that, there was usually when there's a lack of club football, there's all of these transfer rumblings going on. Did you catch any of that, Farooq?
Oh, definitely. How would I miss Trent Alexander-Arnold, bro? I mean, everyone who's followed me on the on this podcast since we begin, like, he's a player that I've always name checked and I've always mentioned. Of course, like, we've always have, like, opposing opinions with certain people on the panel. With Sunaid, we've always had discussions. Even with Mo and so on and so forth. But yeah, man, like, but then still, like, we're still made to understand, like, okay, it's close, but nothing's done yet, nothing's official. But I really look forward, to the eventual signing. I hope it goes over the line of Trent. And also, I started to hear about the rumbles of Martin Zubimendi as well. I feel like he's going to be a really really good addition because he's a different profile of player. Of course, like, I know he's not to the level of what we've seen in the past, but this is just the reality right now. Like, football is just full of mediocre, like a lot of mediocre players. Like, I just, like, touted to be above average. But let's see, because the thing is that with previous real midfielders that we bought for Real Madrid, like from Spanish league, Dani Ceballos is an example. It took him how many, 6 years, 4 years, 5 years before he was able to make an impact on the team. Let's go back. We look at players like Sergio Canales, Pedro Leon. You look at those guys and they have not been able to make a mark on the team. So let's see if Zubimendi comes to fruition. But he's a player that I would really appreciate addition because he gives us a different profile. And yeah, in addition to Trent, I think it's if at least those two come to fruition, I think it's going to be a very good window from us.
Absolutely, and there's talks of Heisen as well. Is that how you pronounce his name? The young Spaniard defender who's supposed to partner up with Raul Asensio and be the defense partnership for the next decade.
I don't think what you're saying is going to happen, bro. Like if Hoysen joins or whatever his name is, he's gonna partner up with Militao. Sorry, yeah, with Militao, not Asensio, man. I don't know, but I just feel like while Asensio has shown a lot of good
Promise.
performances has shown, like he's been quite impactful in the team. I do think in the long term, like if Asensio wants to say, I think he's going to end up in, the caliber of a player like, Nacho. And like, this is no stain on Nacho. Nacho was a phenomenal player on his day, like he was a player that you could always rely on. And that's the thing I loved about Nacho was that there is no bad game. He's not going to give you the performance of a Rudiger or a Sergio Ramos, but you know what you're going to get from him. Like he's a very consistent player and he does what he does best. And also the Hoysen. I don't know. I mean, his name is Dean Hoysen, so like the Dean guy actually could be a very interesting player to look out for. And I don't know how much he's gonna cost or like there, but I heard like he has a very attractive release clause from Bournemouth, and I think he's gonna be someone that would really bolster the backline. I think Militao is just 25, and I think Hoysen is like 20 or 19 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what you said, for the next 10 years, you literally have the backline secured if you're adding Raul Asensio into that as well. But yeah, let's see. I don't think the Hoysen thing is going to be quite straightforward because like I think there's a lot of but the thing about him as well is that because like, he comes, very highly not just rated, but also with a lot of experience. Like he's played for
Yep.
Roma, he's played for Juventus. So he's coming like with a lot of experience at the highest level as well. So that's something that we would really appreciate a lot.
Definitely, man. And I think the reason Real Madrid are going in on Heisen this time might be because we don't know what version of Militao is going to turn up. We don't know if Alaba can keep this up. If he can actually have a string of games together. So we might actually need to depend on Heisen sooner than you expect.
I'll actually tell you this, Jacob. I think Real Madrid needs to buy two center backs. I think one this summer, one the next summer. Because when you look at the profile we have, like David Alaba coming off of the ACL, Militao, two ACLs back to back,
Yeah,
and then you have Rudiger who is like 30, what, 32, 33, So you
32.
look at that and like there is no, like there is the defense is like not, they have no injection of youth in there. So we you consider the option of okay, you have, Asensio. If you get lucky, you're able to get a deal done with Dean Howson as well. That's also another addition. You still need one more centre back. And I do think I don't know, but a player like Bastoni could be someone that could be interesting. But then
Those are pipe
attracting a
dreams
player
for
like
him.
Bastoni. But then I think one player that could be really interesting, not this summer, but the next, would be William Saliba because in next summer he's going to have 1 year left on his contract. So it's either he renews with Arsenal or he leaves for a free. So I think that could be a player to look out for, and especially with our growing, not our growing, we have a very strong contingent of French national team players. Kylian Mbappe, Kamavinga, Mendy, Chouameni. So there might be a bit of push there, similar to what we saw with Trent and Jude Bellingham. So there might be a bit of push there, to kind of make the upgrade, especially if Arsenal continues to be the bridesmaid rather than the bride, which I think is something that's going to happen for the next 2 3 years. I just don't see how they kick into the next year, honestly. But I do think William Saliba would be a name to look out for, especially if we are following the routes that we follow with all of our big transfers. It's with Courtois, he had 1 year on the contract. David Alaba free, Rudiger free. So now we're looking at Trent maybe free, Kylian Mbappe free as well. So yeah, I do think like William Saliba will be a name to keep an eye out, especially with the contract situation. If he doesn't renew this summer, I think next summer might be something that will be interesting for him to consider.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we missed out one name here in all of this. I don't know if this is gonna have a real factor in his contract negotiations or his deal with Real Madrid. But Davies, he got his ACL done in the Canada game, so he's out for maybe 6 to 8 months. Do you think Real Madrid are still going after him? I'm not hearing
I think
anything.
I think the Davies story is gone, man. Like the man signed a new contract. I think he's the second or third highest paid player at Bayern Munich right now. So
Let's sign it, yeah.
I think Davis is gone, man. I think the whole Davis ship has sailed because based on what we came to understand is like like there were some like offers from his side that Real Madrid were not willing to entertain and stuff like that. So eventually he remained with Bayern. He signed a very lucrative deal, and I think it's also a long term deal as well. So
Yep.
I think the Alfonso Davies ship has sailed, man. It's mainly for the next forever and ever.
Whatever, I never. Yeah, I don't know what we'll be doing about the Gutierrez situation in the summer, but yeah, let's see. All right, man. I think it's worth looking at because we're just heading into April. It's worth looking at the fixture list. Do you want to do that, or head right into the preview?
No, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Like I think even speaking of the fixture list, I think we first have to pay some homage to Barcelona. Like they have to play today and they have to play on Sunday and then they have to play on Tuesday or Wednesday against Atletico Madrid and then they have to play the weekend. And then, oh God, I don't know, man. It's very, very unfair. I don't know how. I mean, come on, let's call a spade a spade. Like everyone talks about the fact that yeah, something is rigged. Like Real Madrid fans will talk, oh, they rigged the league for Barcelona. Barcelona fans they rigged the league for Real Madrid. And the point is, in all honesty, like I keep saying this, like until and unless we unite and understand that these people are just shit, they will keep using the divide and conquer approach, to kind of make things go away. I do think it's just really, really unfortunate that Barcelona has to play today when a lot of their players, are just coming back off the international break. It's very, very unfair. And this is just the shit that we keep seeing with the administrators, either it's in UEFA or it's, the Spanish FA or FIFA or whatever, people don't care, that's just, they just don't care about, as long as they find 11 bodies to put on the field, they really do not care, as long as it's the white jersey of Real Madrid or, the stripes of Barcelona, they really do not care who is actually wearing, as long as, you just play, you generate revenue for TV. That's just it. Very unfortunate.
It's all about the money. Nothing else matters.
Exactly. Well, anyways, back to ours. Like, I think we have Leganes on Saturday, and then we have like Sociedad on Tuesday, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And then we play again Saturday. I think, who do we play Saturday? Do you remember?
It's Valencia, and it's Valencia away too, I think, right? No, it's actually Valencia at home. So
Valencia at home, and then we travel to the Emirates.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Valencia at home it makes me. I know it's not an easy fixture, but it makes me a bit more calm because Valencia away and then traveling to the Emirates will have been, two very, very, especially when we know what happens whenever we go to, the Master, especially with Vinicius Junior right now. So I think playing at home and then going to the Emirates, it's gonna be. But man, I'm telling you, we're gonna go back to what we used to do always when we played Man City. Every game before that City game is a preview of the City game.
Yeah, that is for sure.
I don't think we're gonna get into the territory of every game before the Arsenal game is a preview of the Arsenal game exactly, because I'm telling you, man, like I don't worry too much about Arsenal, but like the kind of set pieces that Arsenal have, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you a fact. Like, I'm pretty sure Mikel Merino is gonna score at least once against us.
Could be. I mean, the point is like Arsenal is a team of giants, and then when you look at our players, like you take away Rudiger, and you think like who's actually big player?
Tchouaméni is pretty big.
Tchouaméni is big, but like is he that big? I mean, I don't know how big Tchouaméni will be like next to Declan Rice, man. I don't know. I don't think he's that big when he stands. I mean, Tchouaméni is big when you put in the perspective of Camavinga and Fede Valverde. Like he's bigger than those guys, okay? Like Jude also is a big guy. But other than those guys, when you look at Arsenal, like they're playing Calafiori, they're playing Timber, and then they're two centre backs, and then you look at Mikel Merino, you look like Declan Rice, bro. That's like 7, 8 giants out of 11 players, bro. Like, I mean, and one of those 11 players is a goalkeeper, right? So it's like 7 out of 10 players are like giants. It's like crazy what those guys do. And then they have this whole set piece routine that they do with corners and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's gonna be scary.
Man, I mean, it's gonna. I mean, honestly, like I do know that Arsenal has a very good defense, but I really put my money on our attackers to get the game to get the job done. But then Arsenal has shown the side of them that they have this ability, to channel 2004, 2005 Mourinho and literally like build a back that is impenetrable. They score one goal and you are not scoring.
Yeah.
They score one and you are absolutely not scoring.
It's almost like facing an Atletico Madrid from maybe 2012 or 2013.
Exactly. Those 2014, 2013, 2012, Atletico Madrid, honestly, that's a very good shot. It's like they find a set piece, they score from that set piece, they close off the shot, bro.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that goes. I don't know how it's going to be, but I was actually saying to my Arsenal fan, my friend of mine who's an Arsenal fan, I was saying to him, like, if this was 2022, I believe it was going to be a very interesting game because, in 2022, like, Arsenal were playing all this expansive football, Martin Odegaard, was like, taking charge of the team, spraying passes here and there, this and that. And now you just look at, like it's like Rice making a corner, Odegaard throwing in a corner, and like someone heads it in, and that's just it. Like it's difficult for Arsenal to create chances out of set pieces and out of corners, and it is what it is. And now I think they're also going to get.
I think they're banking on Saka being back, though, right? I think he might be a big difference maker there.
Definitely, I think but also it's not a question of how fit would he be. Like if you've been out for almost 3 months, how fit would he be coming back into a game of this magnitude as well? But I do think Bukayo Saka is definitely an X factor for Arsenal. But let's see. I think for the second leg, he's absolutely going to be fit. For the first leg, he's a 50-50. So let's see, how it goes this weekend and, next week. Because, I mean, there's still a couple of days before the game. The game is still, I think, the 8th of April or something like that. And we're still not even out of March yet. So I think we still have like 10, 15 days before the game rolls around. So I think we're going to get a bit more updates on what's the situation with Bukayo Saka. But yeah, man, it's a very brutal fixture list, I think.
In between the Arsenal games, we have Alaves, but immediately after that, like, there's no easy games after that. It's Athletic Club at home and then Getafe away. That Getafe away game is going to suck the soul out of me.
So, like, do you know when the semis of the UCL is? Do you have any idea? Like, let's not jump ahead of the gun, but I'm just wondering if we will qualify.
I'm pretty sure there's a gap in May for us in case that comes up. It's probably in the first week or second week of May.
Oh, actually, I'm just checking now. It's like the first legs are going to be played in the first week of April, and the second legs are going to be played the last week of April, 29th of April, and the second leg are going to be played like on the 6th of May.
Right. If we do make it to the semifinals, and then it's going to be the second leg on the 6th, and then 11th is going to be the El Clasico. It's going to be a hell of a week.
Oh, that's going to be quite interesting. And I think most likely we're going to, if we go through, I think it's Paris, I guess, because Paris plays Aston Villa. So I'm assuming the form that Paris in, they should be able to deal with Emery and Aston Villa one way or another. It's going to be quite interesting to see how that turns out. What the good thing is that for the Champions League, like, we always have second leg at home, at least till the final. For the next two games, we're going to have the second leg at home. So that's one great advantage that we have. Well, let's not jump the gun yet. I think, although I do not believe Arsenal should be too much of an obstacle, I do still think, we have to put some respect there. Like, Arsenal is a very formidable team, as we just said. Difficult to break down. It's going to be a very, in my opinion, very, very boring and painful game to watch,
Let's see, man. I think we can bank on a few things that might happen. Arsenal scoring in one of the set pieces, maybe scoring early on where we're not that switched on, and then us trying our best somehow to make something happen, and then it's gonna take a screamer or a summer corner or something shitty to actually make it to extra time. And, it's how it goes every single time.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. But anyways, man, let's put some respect on Leganes and get back to business, man. Like we say, have a lot of stuff to deal with in La Liga. I hope, like today we can take advantage of Barcelona's stuff, and I hope, I think they play Osasuna today, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Osasuna.
I hope Osasuna can take advantage of that, and of course, when I say we can take advantage, I mean Osasuna can take advantage of that on our behalf, at least lead to some drop points. It's very unfortunate. It's unfair. I totally admit it, but I mean, it is what it is. It's not like it's not me or you who's making the laws, So that's just the thing, like we just have to do what's in front of us. And I hope, fingers crossed that Barca can drop at least 2 points tonight, and we can at least win without even playing. And then we go to the weekend and we play Leganes at home. We've already beat Leganes twice this season, but I think the second, if you remember, in the quarterfinal, they were actually 2-0 up before we turned it around, right? If I remember correctly. Was it 2-0 or 2-1? It was 2-0, right?
It's 2-0, yeah.
We were 2-0 up, and then we were able to, claw back the game to win 3-2. That was a very, very crazy game. That was the game where the, what's his name? Rodriguez, something like that, the youngster. I think it was the game where he scored the third goal.
Yep.
The header from the corner, right?
Yep.
Something like that. So he was that was a frantic game. That was
I think even before that, we found them difficult to break down. I think Atletico Madrid have drawn their away. Barcelona as well have had trouble. They needed like a late.
I think Barcelona lost. Barcelona lost actually at Leganes.
Yeah. I think it's Barcelona that lost, and Atletico drew or something. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Either way, man, it's gonna be. I'm glad it's at our home ground. The players be back from international break. That's the worry, though. Always us after an international break. It's gonna be hard on the weekend as well. But before we go into the game, I just want to read out a comment from Frederick Dahl. He says, "Shout out from Norway. Been on the channel before. Barca fan, by the way, and I'm a big fan of this channel regardless, though. Great videos, and also Real Madrid is more well run than Barcelona. No argument." He also says, "I also hope Modric retires at Real Madrid. He's in my opinion, better than Xavi and Iniesta. Are you sure you're a Barcelona fan?
Bro, bro. Man, Frank, man, I mean, stop giving up your location, man, because like Barcelona fans can send, Well, yeah, I mean, of course, this thing about best players and favorite players is always subjective, bro. So, like, I mean, it doesn't matter what. I mean, for instance, my brother is a Real Madrid fan, but his favorite player is Luis Suarez, So, this is also something there, So, it's very strange, but that's how it is. But yeah, shout out to Frank. And for me, this is the thing, we love about football. It's not about the rivalry or anything. It's just, about we have fun, we have banter, but eventually, it's only respect and love between us. There is the game unites us. It doesn't divide us; it unites us. And shout out to Frank from Norway. Like it's great to have you on the channel. I remember, Frank is a regular. He's been off for a while, but welcome back, Frank. We always look forward to having you in the chat.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I've seen him in all of our like bigger previews as well for the UCL games. He's always yeah. And Sunet says if we play Paris, second leg is away. Yeah. And it's gonna be a Gonzalo Garcia winner. What?
Yeah, I think it's Gonzalo Garcia for the Leganes game. Yes. The 3-2-1. The header was from Gonzalo Garcia. Yes, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
And he also says Suarez, question mark. Disown him, Farouk.
Nah, I actually wanted Suarez to join Real Madrid as well. I actually wanted, but like we had Benzema at that point in time, so it was impossible. And Benzema was like the pet of, what's he called? It was like Zidane's pet project, more or less. So like it was impossible for Benzema to leave Real Madrid at that point. I can understand because I always say this personally. For me, I haven't seen Henry play like in the Premier League. Like I saw him like when I was really small, so I didn't even know what football was then. But like for me, like individual season in the Premier League, what Suarez did in 2013, 2014 for me is the best. I had never seen any player like literally like Suarez was unstoppable, And you have to give credit to what he had done in the era of Messi and Cristiano as well. Messi and Cristiano were playing in the same league. He won the Golden Boot and he won the European Golden Boot, ahead of those two players in their peak.
And it's not like he was just racking up the numbers. Every single hard game, every single game that mattered, he turned up. And he scored every single kind of goal that's possible.
That's the thing with Suarez, honestly. I mean, Suarez, the person, forget about that. Like, I mean, there's no need to discuss that. But Suarez, between the four white lines was I mean, let's not forget, even after Barcelona, he went to Atletico Madrid, scored 22 goals and won them the league.
Yeah.
So literally he scored the goal that won them the league on the last day. Because if you remember, they won the league 2 points ahead of us. And on the last day we were winning, they were drawing, and Suarez scored the goal that literally, won them the title more or less.
I still can see it right in front of my face. The face of him crying, and then him on the video call.
I mean, his family, right? Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So the respect is due, but yeah, Suarez is a shitty person. We don't like him. But here in this space, we also do not like Suarez. My brother can like him, but we do not like him.
I mean, Sunet has a spicy question. Was Suarez better than Gareth Bale 2013-12 season?
100%. I have no doubt about this. 100%. Bro, Bale was
he's a physical specimen, yeah.
Exactly. That's the point I want to say. Like, Bale was like a physical monster. You see, like, how, like, how should I put it? Like, Michael Phelps was an anomaly in swimming. It's not like, okay, not to take anything from Phil Phelps, but like, when you look at him, like, he makes swimming so, like, robotic. But, like, when you watch Suarez play, see, the point is this. Suarez scored 31 goals in 33 games. He was banned for 6 games because like he's a racially abused ever. 31 goals in 33 games. That was the record before, of course, Haaland came and did his stuff. 31 goals in 33 games, bro. Like that's unheard of. Like you can't even, man. Yeah. That was something else, honestly. I really wanted Suarez to join Real Madrid, but yeah, it just wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, Sunet's just a physical specimen question mark. You have to watch the outside of the box goals Bale scored. Yeah, and the number of free kicks, it's almost like he had a penalty every time he got a free kick. The ones against Inter, yeah, those come to mind.
No, that's true. Even like I remember the last goal he scored for Spurs against West Ham was a phenomenal outside of the box goal. That was the last ever goal he scored before he joined us. There is that ball. Go and see what Suarez was doing. Suarez was literally chipping keepers from half of the line. Yeah. Literally, like I'm sure, like the Norwich had the goalkeeper Rudy, and then Krul from Newcastle. I'm sure till today they still see Suarez in their sleep because of how he imitated their lives.
Yeah.
It was something else. But anyways, enough Suarez, enough what of that. Let's get back to business, man.
Yeah, let's get back to business. So yeah, we're facing off against 18th place Leganes, a team that has struggled to score goals, reliable goal scorers. They have Danny Raba and Juan Cruz up front, with Munir coming out as a sub. In the midfield, they have Renato Tapia and Oscar Rodriguez, one of our own. But Oscar, he's just coming on as a super sub nowadays. I think he might get a start. I think one of their main center halves got injured, so he might join up with Renato Tapia. But yeah, let's see. But that's it, man. Like, it's not a team that really worries me, especially on our home ground. I think we should be able to get the job done. It's just the only thing I'm worried about is us shooting ourselves in the foot after an international break. But yeah, touch wood. The main thing in this international break was like everyone's coming back healthy, except for the Courtois knock, I guess. So maybe Lunin gets the start.
Oh, okay. That was actually, I thought Coach will be available for the game, but let's see. I think we will get a bit more information maybe towards tomorrow to get like a full, picture of what it looks like. But I do agree with you. I do think like this game, looks very straightforward. But one thing we know at Real Madrid is that we do not do straightforward. That's just the thing. We do not do straightforward. So it's going to be a bit, difficult to say, especially when you consider South American players, how far they travel and they have to come back. It's a bit of a tricky situation for them. And I don't know about how were the performance of the Brazilian boys. I feel like it was subpar. I heard like also Kylian Mbappe didn't show up that much for France as well.
And
Uh,
for me, Kylian Mbappe was like the focal point, especially in the first leg against Croatia. He played better than like all season that I've seen him in Real Madrid. Like his combination play with Barcola and Dembele, something to watch actually. But he didn't actually score, or he wasn't that sharp in front of goal. But the link-up play was there.
I see. I see.
For
I
Vinicius and co, yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't really nothing to write home about. Like he did score that screamer, the winner against Colombia, but they didn't hardly get a sniff against the likes of Argentina, man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's the state of play now. Well, I actually heard like Jude was really good for England, although I didn't see the game. But I heard like for the first game he was really good. For the second game he almost got sent off or stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's the two sides of the sword. When you play as aggressive as Jude plays, you always play at the edge. So
yeah. Did you see that assist against Latvia? I think he split open like three lines of defense in a single pass, and then who was it? Like the England 18-year-old, they just slotted it in. That you should watch
oh
that.
yeah. It was Miles Lewis Kelly, the Arsenal guy.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. You should watch the assist foul
Actually,
if you haven't already. Yeah.
I didn't see that. I heard that like Miles Lewis Kelly because I heard like he became the youngest scorer. Like I think after Rooney or something like that, or rather before Rooney, like he broke Rooney's record, something like that. So
Yeah.
that I saw more or less, but I didn't see the. Yeah, I'm gonna check them out. It's just been a busy week for the past week, so I just kind of toned it down, and also it's Ramadan, and Ramadan is actually is about to finish this couple of
About to
days, so
finish,
yeah.
yeah. So are you going to be
Get some.
celebrating before or after the Leganes game?
No, the Leganes game is on Saturday,
Mhm.
and Ramadan ends on Saturday night actually. So yeah, more or less actually like it's yeah. The Leganes game is the beginning of the celebration, you can say.
Nice. Hopefully, a really good game. Again, we just want to remain fresh, get the players back on form, get them playing again. I think one player that we might be looking forward to again, joining us is Ceballos. So I did see reports earlier on this week that he's going to be ready probably in the squad by the Arsenal first leg, and he might play in the second leg. Did you
Oh,
hear,
well,
hear that? Or, yeah.
that's absolutely fantastic news. Like if we can get Dani Ceballos back, in the coming weeks, I think that would be fantastic. Well, anyways, I think he was due back in April anyway, so like we're getting into April, so
Yeah,
let's see.
people are touting him to return towards the end of April, like probably for the Athletic Club game or the Getafe game. But I think he's just rushing to be back for the Arsenal game. If Arsenal go into a deep block, we will need him. Yeah,
Definitely, I totally agree with that. I do think like that players like Dani Ceballos would be needed to break. I mean, when you say if Arsenal go into a deep look, I don't think it's a if because this is just what to expect. With all due respect, I mean, that's the sad thing because I kind of felt like with what they had started to do, like, a couple of additions here and then, they could have moved forward, but like for Arteta, he had seen it in a different way. And the point is, after what point does this become no longer viable? Okay, if you win stuff, no one's gonna say stuff to you. But then if you go 6 seasons without winning stuff, then of course people are gonna start questioning what you're doing, So I mean, whatever Atletico Madrid are doing, like Atletico Madrid have 2 league titles, they've been to Champions League finals, they have, I think, 2 or 3 European League titles, they have Copa del Rey, they have all of this, but for Arsenal, it's just one FA Cup in 6 years, and there is literally nothing. They've not been to any other finals, nothing, So
Yep.
it's quite painful. Yeah, I do think Arsenal are gonna go into a deep look, especially if they're able to nick one of those set pieces. Definitely, So we're gonna make the keys to the lock. People like Dani Ceballos. But one thing I would not want is like pushing Dani Ceballos to be back as soon as when he's not ready yet or something like that. So I'd rather have him. If it's that Let's Bilbao game after the tie with Arsenal is over, then it's fine. Whatever the result of the tie Arsenal is, we still have to fight for the league more or less, because it's looking like this league is going to go down to the wire. Especially, I think you mentioned it was May 11th, right? The game against Barcelona. I think that especially that game is going to carry a lot of weight, because it's also the tiebreaker, right?
Yep. Tiebreaker. I mean, even if you win, I'm pretty sure they'll still have the head-to-head against us. It's just the points gap. It's like you said before in all of these previous forums. Like, we have to treat every single La Liga game as a final. There's no other way we win.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, let's see. I hope I'm again hoping, and let's see. It's
the Osasuna game, yeah.
Go to the game tonight, bro. The game tonight, you need to 2 points recovered.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hopefully. But yeah, man, let's slowly wind this up, and let's go to the lineups. For me, yeah, we have to see if Kota is fit, but I think Lunin can start. It's going to be fine against Alaves. It's going to be a pretty full-strength backline, yeah. It's going to be Lucas Vasquez, Rudiger, maybe Alaba comes in. What do you think? Does Raul Asensio keep his space? Yeah.
Okay. I think Alaba comes in, yeah.
I think Alaba comes in too. And,
because did Asensio play for Spain? I don't think he played for Spain, right?
He was left out of the squad even if he got called up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For the 2 games?
Yeah.
Oh, God, man, that's unfair, man. Come on. I thought they said the Barcelona kid got injured, and they played Dean Huyson and stuff like that.
They did play Dean Huyson. It's just they didn't play Raul Asensio. For some reason, I don't know.
I mean, if Kubarsi got injured and he moved out of the squad, then they should replace him with Asensio. Was it? Or actually, when you come to think of it, who are the Spanish centre backs? Laporte, Ruben Lenormand, Kubarsi, Huyson, and then who else?
That's 4 centre backs.
Yeah. No, there's Vivian as well. There's Vivian, the guy from Atletico Bilbao,
yeah.
And then I think Pau Torres is injured, so he's not included, more or less. So then we have Asensio. But anyways, the point is Asensio is gonna be there again. If anything, Asensio has more than proved himself, and he's proved every doubt is wrong.
Yeah.
He has more than proved himself. So I'm very optimistic that he's gonna keep making the squad, and he's gonna get his chance.
No. I think Spain are just even more than his technical abilities, they're going to look at his character, and he's going to be that leader. And especially for this young Spain team, they need someone like that in the back.
Yeah, let's see. How it pans out, because also, even if they need those characters, they're just maybe a lot of players ahead of him in the pecking order, because let's not forget, Raul Asensio literally 3 months ago was non-existent. So
yeah.
You just can't throw away all of the because we talk about Huyson. I think Huyson is even younger than Asensio, but we talked about he's a player that has played more than, I think, about 3 seasons in Italy. He's now starting for Bournemouth every week in, week out. So these are players that have a lot of experience. It's not just people randomly from the streets that are being called in ahead of Asensio as well.
Absolutely. Do you think Fran Garcia gets a nod here? Because Mendy, was he injured after the La Liga game last time? Or I'm not sure. I remember.
Yeah, I think he was injured or something. He had a knock or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
I think this could be a game for Fran Garcia, and then if you need it, maybe Mendy can come in the second half.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. What's the state of Mendy though? Is he gonna be?
I mean,
because
there was no comunicado. He's not injured or anything. I think it's just a knock.
Okay. Yeah, so like in that case, yeah, because also we have the game in the midweek, so normally it's like a shuffle. If this one plays this game, the other one plays the next game, so more or less something like this. But yeah, I could see France starting this game and Mendy starting the game against Sociedad, because again it's a home game, so we have two home games back to back,
Yep.
or rather we have three home games back to back rather before
Yeah,
we go
three
to
home
Arsenal.
games. Yeah, absolutely.
So okay, yeah, that's cool then. Yeah, so yeah, we can have like France play this game and then we see how it goes.
Yeah. For the midfield, yeah, we can have our Gala midfield, Valverde, Xiaomini, and Jude Bellingham, unless Xiaomini or someone gets a rest. But I don't think so. I think Carlos gonna need. He can always have a lot of players rested for the Sociedad game. Maybe I'm not sure.
So see, that game is just a 1-0, man. It's a knockout game. So
That's
in the
true.
league, you always have you could always fight for the next seed, although it's difficult. But in the cup, you lose that game, you're literally packing. So
Yeah.
I think it's a game that's of great importance. But again, I do think like I feel like those midfielders you counted at the people who are gonna start. Like I'm not expecting to see anything different when we go to the game against Sociedad. Then we're gonna see maybe a bit of Luka Modric and all that, because Luka Modric's team also, like, let's not forget, played really deep, in the Nations League, because I think they went to extra times against France as
And
well, more or
penalties.
less.
Yeah.
So exactly. So although he didn't play all of that, but I do think like it's gonna be maybe asking too much of him all at once. But I do think in the game against Sociedad, like it's players like Luka Modric, Camavinga can get back into the lineup, and then for this game, Leganes at home. If things are not going as much as you want in the 60th minute, you just throw in a Luka Modric there, to get a difference or somehow. So yeah, I do think Tchouaméni, Bellingham, and Fede Valverde gets the nod.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, Vinny and Rodrigo both played in both of the Brazil games, but I think they're gonna start too. I don't think Brahim. I think Brahim could start against Sociedad, but not this game.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I do think we might most likely see Brian Diaz against Sociedad, but I don't think this game. I think this game is just Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Kylian Mbappe up top. Trying just to seal the deal and close the points as much as possible, as much as early as possible.
Early as possible, yeah. Talking about that, like, what do you think the scoreline is gonna be?
I think it's going to be a bit rusty, so I think a 2-0 victory for Real Madrid. Like nothing
A
too
2-0 and then
exciting.
calling us rusty and a 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a very interesting game, but then as we've said before, like, Leganes is not also the most like threatening team offensively.
Yeah.
So although like yeah, we know like they went ahead in the Copa game, but I do think like in the league it's like it's gonna be a bit more straightforward, let's say. So like Real Madrid's not gonna like play like shift like another hasn't shifted into gear. We play without shifting into gear rather. So I think it's gonna be a game. You just watch, a comfortable game, but nothing, extraordinary, nothing spectacular. So
Comfortable
that's why I
game,
say
and then
it's
you
gonna be
go
a
have
bit
your Ramadan celebrations, yeah.
exactly, bro. Exactly.
All right, yeah, I think it's gonna be a similar score. I think it's gonna be 3-1 though. I think Mbappe is gonna score. I think. Do you think he's gonna get the PTT this time around?
Well, I don't think why not? I mean, well, I think he needs to move on the pens for that to happen, more or less.
Yeah.
Because like Lewandowski also he's an out and out goal scorer. Like Lewandowski is a born finisher. You can't take anything away from that, especially with the way also the supplies he's getting from Rafinha and Yamal. It's a lot more. Yeah, let's see. I still do think he's in the shout for that, more or less.
Yeah. So Nate says it's going to be a 2-1. We must absolutely be putting pressure on Barcelona. And any points dropped from here on out will be fatal. Got that right?
I agree, 100%. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Frederick and Sunita, for being in the chat. For all of you guys over at the audio platforms, if you have your weekends free or anything, do drop in for on YouTube and catch us live. Ask us some questions, and if you have any feedback to share on from your lesson, just drop us a comment on Insta, or just hit us up on our DMs. We'll always be there. Looking forward to the game, and we're gonna have the fan camps over again for the next 3 games because these are all home games. So yeah, stay tuned for that as well. And until next time, folks, Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.